right, my contemplation this morning is on cassava product export from Nigeria. Nigeria, a giant in cassava production, yet export less than 1% of cassava starch demand in the world. Less than 1%. Maybe you are not aware, Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava in the world. Total global cassava production is about 300 million. I think about 170 thereabouts is produced in Africa, and 60 million from Nigeria. That is about 20% of global production. 20%, and that's the highest. All other people are distant second, third, fourth, fifth. Now, this morning I'll focus on starch. I'll talk about some other cassava product later on, but this morning I want to focus on starch, cassava starch. Cassava starch demand in the world is $3.2 billion. Cassava starch demand in the world is $3.2 billion. However, the major exporter of cassava starch, as a matter of fact, two countries dominate the export market. I mean, the exporters. Two companies dominate the supply. Two countries dominate the supply in the world. They are the major suppliers. Two countries in Asia supply 91% of global cassava starch supply. Two countries. Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava in the world and largest producer of yam in the world. Largest producer of cassava, largest producer of yam. The question we should ask ourselves is, why is it that Nigeria is not the largest exporter of cassava starch? Which two countries are the major buyer? In case you are interested in exporting cassava starch, I will talk about the buyers later on. But who are the major exporters? Two countries dominate that. Who are they? Thailand. 56% of cassava starch export is from Thailand. 56%. After Thailand, followed by Vietnam. 35%. Followed by Vietnam. 35%. Is that not interesting? 35%. Vietnam, Thailand, Southeast Asia. So the question we should be asking ourselves is, why is it that Nigeria, being the largest producer, now if you look at the hierarchy in terms of production of cassava, Nigeria ranked number 1 with about 60 million metric tons. Thailand ranked number 2. Indonesia ranked number 3. Brazil number 4. Ghana number 5. Vietnam number 6. Nigeria, Thailand, Indonesia, Brazil, DRC Congo, Ghana, and Vietnam. But Thailand, being a second largest producer, distant second, Nigeria is producing 30 million. Nigeria produces 60 million. That's about 20%. Thailand is producing 30 million tons. And Thailand is 10% production. But who is the largest exporter of cassava starch? Thailand. 56%. 56% of global export of cassava starch is from Thailand. And 35% from Vietnam. Guess how much Nigeria is producing? Less than 1%. Less than 1. It's not even up to 1 million tons. Not even up to 1 million tons. So, I mean, and when I talk about this every day, what I'm trying to point, number 1, is to show that there's opportunity, and then what can we do differently? Because it's not just about the issues or the bad news, but rather what can we do differently? How can we make this work for us? That's actually the crux of the matter and the focus of my conversation. Let me talk about the buyer first. The about 80% of this cassava starch is demanded by two countries. Two countries are buying 80%. China 75% and Indonesia 5%. That's why I said we can actually have strategic partnership with China. I mean, there are a lot of strategic partnership opportunity I see with China that can help Nigeria to be able to change everything as far as export and agri export is concerned. Why? Because we have a lot of things going on with China, a lot of agreement with China, and the beauty is that Nigeria produce, and always remember, Nigeria has majority of its farmers are peasant, more than 70%. We have about over 30 to 40% post-harvest loss according to FAO, and we are not highly mechanized. Now, and we have not utilized more than half of our arable land. Despite all this shortcoming, Nigeria is still ranked as the largest producer of cassava. So imagine if we now take agri seriously. Imagine if we now take export seriously. Imagine if we now become very mechanized, utilize more of our arable land. Imagine if you reduce post-harvest losses. Imagine what will happen to to production level. Because if we are not very serious with agri and we are producing 60 million tons, being the largest producer in the world, 20%, imagine what will happen. So if you are looking for market to sell, China 75% and Indonesia 5%. But what are the major exporters that we must copy? Thailand and Vietnam. So my question is, what have they done that have made them to be able to produce this much? What have they done? Number one, they don't joke with quality standard. Quality standard. So number one, they've sold themselves to the world. If you are thinking of best quality cassava starch, think Thailand. So when anybody is thinking of cassava starch, which Nigeria import, we think of Thailand. Think of Thailand. Think of Thailand. Cassava starch, think of Thailand. Quality standard. But also in addition to that, the government also have trade agreement, which we already have with some countries. But more importantly are the policy towards cassava farming and export. A deliberate policy to grow volume of cassava production and produce it and add value for export. A deliberate policy. That means government give itself a target, working with farmers, supporting them with whatever is required to produce more and feed the factories that will produce for export. And feed the factories that will produce for export. The idea basically is this. They are very serious and they have diverse market. But the major one is China. Different market. But the major one is China because China buy 75% of the product. And you can imagine, with many multiple uses of cassava starch, you shouldn't be surprised. And China being a highly industrialized nation, you shouldn't be surprised that China is the one buying this. So what it basically means is that there's so much forest to be earned from farming of cassava. There's so much forest to be earned from farming of cassava by adding value. There's cassava starch, there's cassava flakes, there's cassava chips, there's cassava flour. Different variety of variants of cassava can be exported, but focus today is cassava starch. And the market size of cassava starch is very huge. About $3.24 billion. And the dominant country in this market is just 2. In terms of export, the dominant country in this market is just 2. In terms of import, Nigeria is not doing well in this, being the giant in cassava production, but a dwarf. Are we even dwarf? Much more lower than dwarf as far as the export of this item is concerned. So I think it's something worth considering for export. The market is huge, the opportunities are there, but we're not taking advantage of it. That's why I'm contemplating on it this morning, that you should consider exporting cassava starch. However, in doing this, it's important you are very conscious of the quality because they are used for production of different things, particularly food item and even drug. See you in the next video. Thank you very much and bye for now.